Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about the graphical representation of break-even point. So it is very important in examination point of view. What is break-even point? Explain the graphical representation of break-even point. This is the question may ask in examinations. In the previous video we have discussed the basic concepts of break-even analysis and the terminology used in break-even analysis, like fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost, total cost, margin of safety, PV ratio, profit volume ratio, profit, angle of incidence. So all these are the different terms we are using in analyzing the break-even point in the concept of break-even analysis. Now here, how to determine the break-even point? What is the schedule that we are using to determine the break-even point? And what are the different assumptions? Here, what are the different assumptions of break-even analysis? We will discuss in this video. Right? Here, what is break-even analysis? Break-even analysis is, it is a process of determination of break-even point. And what is break-even point? Break-even point, the point where the companies attain the no profit and no loss. That point is known as break-even point. Or in other words, where the total revenue is exactly equals to the total cost of the production is also known as a break-even point. As we discussed, here break-even analysis is also called as a CVP analysis, that is cost volume profit analysis. Cost volume profit analysis, CVP, we call it as CVP. Here, while analyzing this break-even point or determining the break-even point, here the managerial economist in the business must study the three important factors which make changes in the profitability of the business. That is cost of the production, price of the product, and also the volume of the business. The volume in terms of units which makes the changes in the profitability of the business. They are the three important factors that that managerial economist has to study in order to analyze the break-even point. And what is the purpose which we have discussed? The purpose of this break-even point is used to determine the minimum number of units that business need to produce in order to attain the no profit and no loss point, and also the number of units that business need to produce in order to achieve the target profits or the desired profits. This is the purpose of the basic purpose of break-even analysis. And here in this video we will be discussing about the break-even chart, also known as a graphical representation of break-even chart. So to construct the break-even chart, we will taking the help of one table which reveals or discloses the information about the number of units, fixed cost, variable cost, total revenue, and also the profit or the losses positions for the corresponding the number of units produced and sold in the business. So the table which represent all these information is known as a break-even point schedule. By using the break-even point schedule, we will construct a graph. That graph is known as a break-even point graph, or it is also known as a break-even point chart. That is also called as graphical representation of break-even point. So now we will see what is the break-even point schedule followed by the break-even point chart or the graph of the break-even point. Let's start. Here, so we need to take the different factors or the items that we need to understand in order to analyze the total profit or the total losses in order to construct the break-even point chart, right? So the columns that we need to take, the data which you require to construct the break-even point is, break-even point chart is number of units, fixed cost in terms of rupees, variable cost in terms of rupees, total cost in terms of rupees, total revenue in terms of rupees, and the position of the business, profit or loss in terms of rupees, So this schedule is known as BEP schedule. This schedule is known as a BEP schedule, which we will use to construct the break-even point chart. So the number of units I am taking here, example 0 units, 10 units, 20 units, 30 units, 40 units, 50, 60, 70, 80 and 90 units. And the fixed cost is fixed at 500 rupees, that is 500 at 0, 500 at 10 units, 20, 30 units, 40 units, 50 units, 60 units, 70 units, 80 units and 90 units, right? Variable cost at 10 rupees per unit. Variable cost per unit is 10 rupees. Here at 0 production there is no variable cost. 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800 and 900, right? Then the total cost of the production, fixed plus variable cost, that is 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000, 1100, 1200, 1300 and 1400. Then the total revenue, here the selling price per unit is at 20 rupees. So at 0 there is no revenue. Here 10 rupees, 10 units, that is 200. At 20, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1400, 1600 and 1800. Now the profit or loss, 0. Here the loss is 400. Loss is here at 500. 300, 200, 100, 0. The profit is 100, 200, 300 and 400. Right. So this is our break-even point schedule. Now, before going to explaining the break-even point schedule, we need to understand the assumptions, the basic assumptions of break-even point. So there are certain assumptions to determine the break-even point by using the break-even analysis concept, such as the first and foremost important assumptions of break-even analysis is that whatever the cost we are incurring to produce the product in the business must be in a position to classify into two costs, that is fixed cost and variable cost. So here the cost should be in a position to classify into two, that is fixed cost and the variable cost. the cost is not possible to classify into the fixed and variable cost, not possible to determine the break-even point by using the break-even analysis concept. This is the first and foremost important concept, assumption of break-even analysis. What is that? The cost should be classified into two, that is fixed cost and the variable cost. So we have discussed in the terminology the meaning or definition of fixed cost, or the nature of fixed cost and the nature of variable cost. So the nature of fixed cost is the cost which is incurring to produce the product, or which is remains constant at any level of the production, irrespective of the total production in the business. Here the fixed cost is remains constant. There is no changes. It does not change at any level of production in the business. That cost is known as a fixed cost. Simply we can say that fixed cost is the remains constant at any level of the production. Such cost is known as fixed cost. And coming to the variable cost, what is the nature of variable cost? The cost which is changes according to the level of production. Such cost comes under the variable cost. What is the example for the variable cost? All the direct expenses. Example, raw material, wages for the labor, fuel, water, gas, transportation. All these called variable cost. All these items are comes under, all these expenditures are comes under the variable cost. So variable cost is the cost which changes according to the level of production. The nature of variable cost is change according to the change in the total production. Such cost comes under the variable cost. And one of the assumption, the important assumption of this break-even analysis is that the variable cost per unit remains constant. Remember, the variable cost per unit remains constant. Per unit remains constant. Of course, the total variable cost may vary from production one to another. The total variable cost at 10 units is 100 rupees, 20 units 200, 30 units 300. Of course, the total variable cost vary according to the level of production, but remember, the variable cost per unit remains constant. Means the marginal cost of the production is the same. The variable cost per unit will be the same at any level of the production. If you see here, 100, what is the average cost here? 100 by 10 equal to 10, 200 by 20, 10, 300 by 30, 10, 400 by 40, 10, 500 by 50, 10. So whatever the production level it is, the variable cost per unit is remains constant. If any changes in the variable cost per unit, then it is not possible to determine the break-even point. This is also one of the assumption of break-even analysis. What is the first one? The cost should be classified into two, that is fixed and variable cost, and the fixed cost remains constant irrespective of the production, and the variable cost is the cost which is changes according to the level of production, but the variable cost per unit remains constant irrespective of the level of production. This is the variable cost per unit. This is also one of the assumption of break-even analysis. And coming to the total cost, here the total cost is ascertained by adding fixed cost and variable cost. So here fixed cost is denoted by FC, variable cost is denoted by VC. The total of fixed cost and the variable cost is the total cost. The total cost always changes according to the level of production, but at 0 units we need to incur 500 rupees because the fixed cost is remains constant. Even there is no production in the business, we need to incur 500 rupees in terms of fixed cost. Example, rent for the building, employees' salaries, director fees, and all these are the expenditure comes under the fixed cost. So whether you are producing the product, whether you are conducting operations in the business or not, we need to pay the salaries to the employees, we need to pay the rent for the building and so on. So here, even there is no production, we need to incur 500 rupees in the form in terms of cost, that is total cost for zero production. And how you are increasing the production in the business, proportionately or similarly, the total cost of the production is increasing. At 10 units 600, 20 units 700, 30 units 800, means the total cost is the summation of, or the combination of fixed cost and the variable cost, that is fixed cost plus variable cost equal to the total cost. So here the total cost of the production is proportionately increased while increasing the production, decreased while decreasing the production. So here there is a positive relationship between the total number of units that we are producing in the business and the total cost of the production. How you are increasing the total production, proportionately or similarly, the total cost of the production will also increase. And if you are decreasing the total production in the business, the total cost of the production will decrease. So this is there is a positive relationship between the total production in the business in terms of quantity and the total production in terms of cost. There is a positive relationship between these two. Then another assumption of break-even analysis is that the selling price per unit remains constant. The selling price per unit remains constant irrespective of the nature of business, the nature of market, or whatever the changes happening in, whatever the changes occurred in the business in terms of machinery or technology or raw material or any other factors. Any changes in the prices of the factors of production, any changes in the market positions, any changes in another factors or the areas, there is no changes in the selling price per unit, that is remains constant. See, generally the common behavior of business is, if there is a demand in the market for the product, here similarly immediately the price of the product will increase by the business. That is the common behavior of any business. But now at the time of determining the break-even point, you should not change the selling price of the product even there is more and more demand for the product, because this is one of the assumption of break-even analysis to determine the break-even point. If any changes occurred, any changes in the selling price per unit, it is not possible to determine the exact break-even point, or the break-even point will not give the accurate results. Means here the selling price per unit, always remains constant to determine the break-even point. Here in this case, here we have taken 20 rupees per unit as selling price. Selling price per unit is 20, and this is the total revenue column. This is the total revenue column which change according to the level of sales. According to the level of sales, how you are increasing the sales in the market, how you are increasing the sales in terms of units, similarly the total revenue of the business will change. Total revenue of the business will change. The relationship between the number of units that we are producing and selling in the market and the total revenue generating by the business is always positive. Means there is a positive relationship between the total revenue and the number of units produced and sold in the market. Means here there is a positive relationship between the number of units produced and sold and the total revenue generating by the business. How you are increasing in the number of units sold in the market, increasing in the revenue of the business. Decreasing in the number of units produced and sold in the market, decreasing the revenue in terms of rupees. Means there is a positive relationship between the number of units produced and sold and the total revenue generating by the business. Here the main assumption, the important assumption of break-even analysis is that the selling price per unit remains constant, like fixed cost. Fixed cost constant at 500 and the variable cost also remains constant at per unit, variable cost per unit also constant at 10 rupees. Similarly, the selling price per unit also remains constant at 20 rupees. It should not be changed, whether it is perfect competition market or imperfect competition market, or imperfect competition market in the form of monopoly market, monopolistic market, oligopoly market, whatever the market it is in the whatever the market it is available, you should not change. You should not change the selling price per unit. Then only it is possible to determine the exact break-even point. And the last column is profit or loss column, and this column reveals the profitability position or the losses position of the business. So zero, at 0 units, we are not producing any products. We didn't produce any products in the business here. Therefore, there is no sales. There is no sales. But here there is a loss. There is a loss in the business worth of 500, because we have incurred in terms of fixed cost worth of 500 rupees, but there is no revenue. Still you need to pay 500 rupees in terms of rent. The 500 rupees is the rent for loss for the business. When you are producing and selling it 10 units, you are generating 200 rupees, but the fixed total cost is 600. The difference between these two is 400, that is loss. And if you are producing 20 units and selling in the market, 700 rupees is incurring on producing 20, which includes the fixed cost and the variable cost, but you are generating only 400 rupees. But here the loss of the business at 20 units is 300. Similarly, here we have calculated the profit or the loss position of the business. At 50 units, here we are incurring 500 rupees in terms of fixed cost, and in terms of variable cost of 500 rupees. Here the total cost of the production of 50 units is 1000, where the total revenue of the business is also 1000. Then there is no profit and no loss. So this is the point we are calling as a break-even point. This is the point called break-even point. What is break-even point? Break-even point is the point where the company attaining the no profit and the no loss. Where the company attaining the no profit and no loss, then we can say that there is a break-even point. So here at 50 units, the business is attaining no profit and no loss in the business. This is called a break-even point. At a break-even point, total revenue is 1000 and the total cost is 1000, fixed cost 500, or variable cost 500. We are producing 50 units. Here, after break-even point, 60, 70, 80, 90, here we are generating the profits in terms of rupees 100, 200, 300 and 400 for the corresponding number of units produced and sold in the market. So if you observe the schedule, until and unless getting the break-even point, we are incurring losses. So this is all the loss, and loss in terms of units. Here it is in terms of profit units. This is break-even point units. This is break-even point in units. So we have classified this into three, that is loss in units, BEP in units, and profit in terms of units. Similarly, you may also identify the profit, the BEP as well as loss, as well as the profit position in terms of value. So this is the area where the company incurring loss in terms of rupees. This is break-even point in terms of rupees, and this is profit in terms of rupees. So all these units revealing or disclosing the loss, BEP and profit in terms of units, and this column is revealing the loss, BEP and profit in terms of value or the rupees. And here the most important assumption of the break-even analysis, one more important assumption of break-even analysis is that whatever the number of units we are producing in the business must be sold in the market. Remember, whatever the production in the business must be cleared, all the products must be sold in the market. It means that there is no closing stock in the business for that particular period at the time of preparing or determining the break-even point. This is the most important assumption of break-even analysis at the time of determining break-even point. If any closing stock realized, the break-even point results cannot be shown the good result. Means here the total products we are producing must be sold in the market. This is also one of the most important assumption of break-even analysis. So what are the assumptions here we have seen in the schedule, such as fixed cost is remains, the first one is the total cost of the production should be classified into fixed and variable cost. If not possible to determine the break-even point. That is the first assumption. Cost must be classified into two, fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost is remains constant at any level of production. Even it is zero production, we have to incur the fixed cost. In this case 500 rupees is the fixed cost. And the variable cost is the cost which is changes according to the level of production for the corresponding number of units produced. So proportionately or similarly accordingly, the number of units produced, the total the variable cost of the production will increase. And here of course the variable cost of the production is increasing, but the variable cost per unit remains constant. There is no changes. There is no changes at any level of the production in case of variable cost per unit. The total cost of the production is changes according to the level of production. There is a positive relationship between the total cost and the number of units produced and sold in the market. And the total revenue also, the total revenue, there is a positive relationship between the number of units produced and sold and the total sales for the in the business. So here there is a positive relationship between the number of units produced and sold and the total revenue of the business. And here most important assumption, one more most important, that is selling price per unit always constant. There should not be changes in the selling price per unit at any market, perfect competition market or imperfect competition market, whatever the form of market structure it is there should not be changes in the selling price per unit, whether it is there is a demand or not. Increasing the demand, no changes in selling price. Decreasing the demand, no changes in the selling price per unit. And here the profit or loss up to attaining the break-even point, the company is incurring losses. At break-even point, no profit and no loss. After break-even point, the business is generating profits. So this is about the BEP schedule. We can also identify the margin of safety by using this schedule. So as we have discussed in the terminology, margin of safety is the total sales of the business, excess of the sales over and above the break-even point is known as margin of safety. So margin of safety is excess of the sales over and above the break-even point is margin of safety. So after break-even point, whatever the revenue we are generating, whatever the profits we are generating, this is called as a margin of safety. This is margin of safety in terms of rupees. Whereas in case of here, margin of safety in terms of units. After break-even point, whatever the units we are produced and sold in the market, all units are comes under the margin of safety, because margin of safety means total sales minus BEP sales. What is total sales? 90. What is BEP sales? 50. Difference between these two, 40 units are known as margin of safety in units. Similarly, in terms of value, the total revenue is 1800 and BEP revenue is 1000. Difference between these two, that is 800 rupees, is the margin of safety in terms of value. In terms of value. So this is the profit 400. Profit 400. So this is the explanation of BEP schedule and the assumptions of break-even analysis. Again, I am revising the break-even analysis assumption. Fixed cost should be classified into two, fixed and variable cost. If not possible to determine the break-even point. Number 2, the variable cost of the production will change according to the level of production. The 3, the variable cost per unit remains constant irrespective of the level of the production. You should not change the variable cost per unit, right? Means that remains constant. Number 4, the total cost of the production and the total number of units produced and sold in the market is changes proportionately. Means there is a positive relationship between the total cost and the total number of units produced and sold. Here, next, number 5, the total cost is the summation of fixed cost and variable cost. And number 6, here the total revenue can be generated by selling the products produced in the business. And next point is the selling price per unit remains constant irrespective of changes occurred in the business. In the business or outside the business. Within the business, the various factors like price of the product, cost of the production, volume of the production or volume of output, any changes happens in the internal factors, there is no changes in the selling price. As well, external factors also, any changes in external factors like in terms of market structure, in terms of government policies, in terms of customers perceptions, in terms of competitors prices, in terms of any factor, whatever the factor changes in the external also, it will not affect on the selling price per unit in determining break-even point. Means it is always remains constant. And the last but not the least, a very important assumption of break-even analysis is that closing stock. There should not be closing stock in the business at the time of determining the break-even point. If any closing stock realized or any closing stock remaining in the business, then the BEP cannot show the exact results or the accurate results of the business. Means that here this is the very important assumption of break-even analysis, that the business should not have any closing stock. Means whatever the units that the business producing in that particular period must be sold in the market at the selling price per unit 20. Then only possible to determine the exact break-even point, or the break-even point show the exact results for the business. This is about the break-even point schedule. Now we will see the break-even point, the nature of break-even point, or what are the different lines or the curves will construct in the break-even point chart by using the schedule: fixed cost line, variable cost line, total cost line, total revenue line, and also identification of the or determination of the break-even point, loss zone, profit zone, margin of safety, all these in terms of units and in terms of value. So now let us see the break-even point chart or the graphical representation of break-even point by using this schedule. So this schedule is very important to remember. If you remember and understand this break-even schedule, it is very easy to construct the break-even chart or the point. I hope you understand the break-even schedule. Just we need to multiply the variable cost per unit into the corresponding units in order to attain the variable cost for the corresponding units. Fixed cost plus variable cost equal to the total cost. Selling price per unit is 20, means we need to multiply the selling price per unit into the number of units produced in the business. and the difference between total revenue and the total cost is the profit or loss. Otherwise, I will write here row, column number 1, column number 2, column number 3, column number 4 equal 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3, and here the total revenue is column number 5 equal number of units. First column multiply with 20 rupees per unit. 0 into 20, 0, 10 into 20, 200, 20 into 20, 400, 30 into 20, 600, and so on. And the last column is profit or the loss. This is the sixth column. Sixth column equal to fifth column, that is total revenue, minus fourth column, that is the total cost, in order to ascertain the profit or the loss for the corresponding or the respective the number of units produced. So they are the different columns or the data that we are going to use in constructing the break-even point chart or the graphical representation of break-even point. Now let us see the break-even point chart. Now the heading is graphical representation of BEP, that is break-even point. Graphical representation of break-even point. So by using the break-even schedule, now we are constructing the break-even point chart or the break-even point graph, that is graphical representation of break-even point. So here to construct the break-even point, we will take the two axes, x-axis and y-axis. So this is x-axis and it is a y-axis. It is 0 or origin, x-axis, y-axis. So whatever the data is available in the schedule that we have discussed until now, we need to take in the graph in order to construct a break-even point chart. X-axis reveals the number of units produced and sold. X-axis reveals the number of units produced and sold, and y-axis reveals the total sales in terms of value, the total cost in terms of value, and revenue or the revenue. So sales in terms of revenue, cost, that is both fixed cost and the variable cost, and total revenue we are taking on y-axis. So x-axis reveals the number of units produced and sold, y-axis reveals the sales, cost, revenue in terms of value or the rupees. The total x-axis, the complete x-axis dividing into two parts. Here let us assume here 1000, half of the axis 1000, and let us assume here 2000, and approximately here 1800, and half of this part we are assuming here approximately as 500, that is fixed cost. This is fixed cost. This is break-even point in terms of value. This is the total revenue in terms of value. Similarly, here you can take 10 units, 20 units, 30 units, 40 units, 50 units, 60 units, 70 units, 80 units, and 90 units. So this is the axis which reveals the number of units produced and sold in the market, and this is an axis which reveals the total revenue. Just approximately we have taken the numbers, numerical value, that is 500 fixed cost, 1000 break even point, and 1800 is the total revenue. Now let us draw the lines. Let us point out the points and plot the points and connect the points in the graph in order to ascertain the fixed cost line, variable cost line, and the total cost line. The first column is the number of units produced and sold. So the number of units produced and sold data has taken on x-axis. The second column in the schedule is the fixed cost column. So the fixed cost column is the cost of the production fixed at 500. Now we are taking 500 at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Whatever the production in the business, there is no changes in fixed cost. This is called fixed cost line. So here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. This is after pointing the values, we have connected the points to ascertain the fixed cost line. Then the second column is variable cost column. The variable cost column shows 0 to the 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 till the 900. So we need to point out the points here in order to plot the points and connect the points in order to get the line that is called variable cost line. So the variable cost line start at 0 and it will flows from left to right upward. It will flows from left to right upward. This is called total variable cost line. Total variable cost line. 0 at 10, 100, 20, 200, 30, 300, 40, 400, 50, right. At 50, it should be cuts at 500. Yes, this is total variable cost line. Total variable cost line. At 50 units, 500 rupees. Total variable cost. Right? Next, the next line is total cost line. Total cost line starts at 500 and 500, 600, 700, like that it will move. So the total cost line will also flows from left to right upward. How? The total production is increasing, the total cost also will increase. This is the total fixed cost, total cost line. That is the combination of fixed cost and the variable cost. So here this is the total variable cost, this is total fixed cost, and it is total cost line. Now let us take the total revenue curve starts from 0, it will move up, it will flows from left to right upward. This is total revenue curve. This is the total revenue curve. Here the total revenue curve must intersect the total cost curve from the below in order to attain the break-even point, right? So the total revenue curve is intersecting the total cost line at this point, where the company or the business producing 50 units and generating 1000 rupees. 1000 rupees. Here the point where the total revenue curve intersecting the total cost curve is known as a break-even point. The point where the total revenue curve cutting the total cost curve from the below, that is the point called as a break-even point. Break-even point, and the angle which is forming at a break-even point is known as angle of incidence. This is called angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. More the angle, higher the profits above the break-even point. More the angle, like more the losses incurred below the break-even point. So this is the zone called as a loss zone, and this is the zone called as a profit zone. This is profit zone and it is loss zone. This is profit zone above the break-even point. This is our break-even point. Break-even point, right? So this is a process of constructing the break-even chart or the graph, also known as graphical representation of break-even point. Just we need to take the data which we have discussed in the break-even point schedule, take the scale on x-axis and y-axis, and draw the curves or the lines for the fixed cost, variable cost, total cost and the total revenue in order to ascertain the break-even point. As we have discussed, break-even point is the point where the total revenue equal to total cost, where the total revenue equal to the total cost. At this point where the total revenue intersecting the total cost line, this point the total revenue equal to total cost, that is also known as break-even point. Now let us see the another terms that we are using in break-even analysis at the time of determining break-even point. Margin of safety. See, break-even point is also one of the terms that we are using in this. Break-even point means, here break-even point means where the company gets the no profit and no loss. So at 50 units, company is getting the no profit or the no loss point. Means that here this is the area, or these are the number of units we are calling as a break-even point in units up to 50, and after 50 to till 90, this is called as a margin of safety in units. Margin of safety in units. Let us take here OQ1, and here up to 1000, this is called as a break-even point in sales area, and after 1000, this is margin of safety in value. Margin of safety in value. This is BEP in sales in value. BEP in value we can say. So BEP value, margin of safety value. What is margin of safety? Excess of sales over and above the break-even point sales is known as margin of safety. Right? Here, what is margin of safety in units? Excess of sales in units over and above the break-even point in units is the margin of safety in units. Here, we can assume this is the P and 1800 is P1. If you see up to like a 1000, up to 1000, the company is incurring losses. Company is incurring losses up to this is the loss zone. This is the loss zone and it is the profit zone. So if you see, this is the profit zone. This is the profit zone till 1800. This is profit zone and this is loss zone. This is loss zone. Similarly, up to 50 is the loss zone. After 50 it is profit zone. At 50 that is break-even point. At 50 break-even point. So this is called as graphical representation of break-even point. Loss zone, profit zone, break-even point in units, break-even point in value, margin of safety in units, margin of safety in value, and angle of incidence, total revenue, total cost, total variable cost, total fixed cost lines. So this is the process of graphical constructing the graph, and this is called graphical representation of break-even point. After constructing the break-even point chart, we need to explain the graph constructed. So here, now let us discuss about the break-even chart. 500 rupees is a fixed cost. The line which is flowed from left to right horizontally parallel to x-axis is the fixed cost line, and the variable cost is floating from left to right upward according to the level of production, and the total revenue curve is also floating from left to right upward as per the sales conducted during that period. Total cost line is also floating from left to right from 500 according to the level of production in terms of cost, and where the total revenue line is intersecting the total cost line is the break-even point. Means here the total revenue curve intersecting or cutting from the below the total cost line, that point is called as break-even point, where the total revenue equal to total cost. Here OQ1 is the total sales. OQ1 is the total sales. OQ is BEP sales, and Q to Q1 is margin of safety. All these are in terms of units, that is sales in units, BEP in units, margin of safety in units. Similarly OP1, P2, P1, OP1 and P2, P1. Let us see here. OP is BEP sales. P1 is the total sales. P2, P1 is margin of safety in sales. All these are in terms of value. This is about the number of units, and it is the total sales. What are the O2, Q1, OQ1 total sales, Q to Q, 0 to Q BEP sales, Q to Q1 margin of safety in units, where O to P BEP sales, O P1 the total sales, P to P1 is margin of safety in value. Here fixed cost is floating from left to right horizontally parallel to the x-axis, and x-axis showing the number of units produced and sold, y-axis showing the total sales, cost, revenue in terms of value. Up to 1000 the company is attaining losses, after 1000 the company is generating profits. At 1000 break even point, this is our break even point in terms of value. At Q break even point in terms of units, Q break even point in units. So this is the process of constructing the break even chart, and also the process of explanation of the break even chart. So totally it is called as graphical representation of break even point. See, in this video we have discussed the two important concepts, that is break even point schedule and break even point chart. Break even point schedule is the schedule which is used to construct the break even chart or the break even point graph. The tabular form of data or tabular representation of the data used to construct the break even point is known as break even point schedule, and the break even point graph is by using the schedule data constructing the graph is the graphical representation of break even point. So what are the assumptions we have to consider here? The fixed cost is remains constant, the variable cost is changes according to the level of production, and the variable cost per unit remains constant at any level of production. The total cost of the production is dividing into or classifying into two, fixed and variable cost. The total cost is changes according to the changes in the total production, and the selling price per unit is remains constant at any level of production or any changes in the business or the market. And the last one is there is no closing stock. Here all the products that we are producing in the business must be sold in the market at any cost. If any balancing here in terms of inventory or the stock, the break-even point result not shown good. So this is about the graphical representation of the break-even point using the break-even point schedule. My dear students, this is a very important concept in examination point of view. So they may ask the question, what are the assumptions of break-even point or break-even analysis? What is the graphical representation of break-even point? What is the schedule of break-even point? What is the graph of break-even point? So you must be prepared thoroughly in order to answer the question, that is what is break-even analysis, explain the graphical representation of break-even point. This is the answer for the question, break-even analysis and a graphical representation of break-even point, right? Thank you.